y'all, it's Joe, and we are going to be discussing 5 for 15. And when I say we, I mean the entire internet, not necessarily you and me, because, video and stuff. You know how it works. Or, comments in the comment section where discussions can happen. Fight for 15 is a big thing on Twitter right now because I guess in light of realizing that capitalism exists, a lot more people are on board than they were, I would say last year, a few months ago, definitely a few years ago. I've noticed that throughout history, the raise of minimum wage, since we developed our sense of what we call an economy in America, has always been a struggle. There has never been any easy thing in raising the federal minimum wage, but it's always so easy, and the economy is always so fragile to be able to raise the living wage and raise the price of products and goods and rent and utilities. It's always the last thing to get raised, being the minimum wage, where people have to go through poverty for so long before there has to be some sort of violent outbreak, because no one gets money in America any kind of easy way. And the fight for 15 is, it has been since inception. We realized the minimum wage needed to go up, has just spread like wildfire, and I have nothing but appreciation for it. To speak for myself, I've lived in poverty for a long time. I was raised middle class until, I'd say, about 2007 when the economy crashed. And being in Louisiana, we felt the economy crashed the hardest because our state economy isn't that great anyway. And I went a long time without being able to get my own job because of the state economy, and then I left home and went to Colorado and various other states and found a lot of other places to be the same. I haven't been able to get a steady job until Minneapolis, and the steady job that I was able to find was, of course, an entry-level job being a cashier. At my first job of being a cashier at Cub Foods, the Super Value Cub, not a Jerry's Cub, if anybody out there knows the difference, I was only making $9.70 an hour, and I was still on public assistance such as food stamps and health care, or MNsure they call it here. And there's no such thing as being a fully functional adult on $9.70 an hour. And for the job that being a cashier is, paying people $9.70 an hour to do all that work should just straight up be a crime. And of course, a lot of my coworkers that were on the front end with me were black women. I identify as non-gender conforming, gender neutral, all those gender things, but I'm a female person. I am an AFAB, assigned female at birth, or DFAB, designated female at birth, however the terms go these days. I am a black female, and I am also LGBTQ. I am all three things that are known to be in the poverty level. And I am also, incidentally, all three things that people don't give a shit about. People don't care about LGBTQ people and black people and women. They care about white men and themselves. Themselves first and then white men. That's what America cares about. People like me, I'm the lowest on the totem pole. And yet they have the nerve to tell me, if you want a better wage, you should get better skills. And I have skills, but no one wants to hire me because they don't trust me as a black person, they don't trust me as a queer person, they don't trust me as a female person. So the job that I either can get is either start my own business from what I don't know, because I don't make enough money to start my own business, or work for someone else in the lowest end of their job, which for customer service or working in the public in general is being a cashier. And we pretty much have a system set up that you need to go to college to do anything else. And going to college inherently puts you in debt because nobody makes enough money to go to college. And the endless cycle of capitalist hate, basically. So right now I do work at a different store that has a much better ethics policy, but I'm still only making $10.40 an hour. You still can't be a fully functional adult on $10.40 an hour. And because I have a job, Minnesota feels the need to cut my food stamps. Even though I'm still on the poverty level, they took my food stamps from $194 down to $16 a month. What fucking sense that makes, I don't know, but Minnesota, right? But I don't have to worry about my health because that doesn't change my health care. You have to make much higher than I make to affect your healthcare benefits in most states. Like, people in customer service, cashiers, waitresses, people that, even the people that are higher paid in the grocery store, like at a starting level, like stalkers can make $12 an hour, but that's still in poverty level because it's still not what we need to add up to make a living wage where you can afford food, rent, childcare, or when I say rent, I mean mortgage too, whatever you're doing with your life, any form of shelter. All those basic things, and whoever does the math, whoever does this stuff has figured out that all that adds up to $15 an hour. As someone who doesn't have any other responsibilities, like I don't have any pets, but I still have to take care of myself. I have to buy my food, I have to pay my rent, I have to buy my hygiene products, general and menstrual. I have to cover pretty much everything else, all my needs and wants, anything that could come up. The security that I was told about is basically a lie. When you get a house, that doesn't change anything. It's just another set of responsibilities. You just have a more consistent place to sit your stuff. And then when you're homeless, you have to figure out where you're going to set up for the night. It's just a different set of responsibilities. There's no real security in either one, as I have found by living here. So, hey, you might have to pay to move at some point because of the situation going on in my individual life with this house. So, and of course, all of the arguments that I've seen so far, not just on Twitter, but on various places across the internet, is like, I'm not paying you $15 an hour to flip a burger. I'm not paying you $15 an hour to, I don't know. Most of the arguments are against people that work in fast food. And for as much as America loves fast food, I don't see why everyone else is so hell-bent on fast food workers being paid a living wage. It's like, it's a very popular industry. Like, there's probably more people going through the fast food thing at Burger King than there are coming in either Cub or where I work now. They definitely deserve to get paid $15 an hour because they have to put up with everyone's shit and then get treated poorly by management, and then they have to go home and worry about poverty issues like where are their kids, how are their kids being taken care of. They have to work all these hours and then still try to have to pick between rent and food. What the fuck is that? This is the richest country in the world where we have all these CEOs making millions upon billions of dollars, and the people that work for them have to worry about their basic needs because they're not making a living wage. And apparently, a living wage is now $15 an hour. I am so down with Fight for 15, I can't even really express it with words. Like, as normally I would suggest interpretive dance, but I don't think interpretive dance is even going to do it. Like, how everyone feels about this now should be an expression of it. I'm not going to take it solely on me to express it, because everyone is expressing it. Everyone is, what's the word? I don't want to say picketing. They probably are picketing, given what picketing means, but they're definitely marching. They're getting petitions. People that I never even would have expected are teaming up with their local government that also agrees with them. that they should be making a living wage, because making a living wage does nothing but stimulate the economy, and we have all these billions of dollars just stocked up to these few people in the whole world. Why is that even a thing? We live in a world where mostly capitalism runs it, and anybody who isn't run by capitalism gets wiped out. All those civilizations that are matriarchal and those smaller civilizations, we don't hear about them, and then they get wiped out in silence, where the patriarchy and capitalism, like where we live, rules. We have a fucking rapist being predicted as the electoral college, for Christ's sake, pun intended, and yet people are like, oh, we fucking, I'm not paying you $15 an hour to flip a burger. What the fuck did you pay Donald Trump for? Like, Donald Trump got a loan from his dad and built Trump Tower and like ripped a whole bunch of people off with his other scam businesses, like the college and some other shit he did, and he's about to go to court like right now for ripping all those people off. But that's okay with you. But the person that has to put up with your indecisive bullshit at McDonald's or Burger King, or the person that has to deal with you being super persnickety on how you want your food scanned at the grocery store, or the people that have to clean up after your stupid kids' messes in the aisles at the grocery store, they don't deserve $15 an hour. Like, well, I mean, and then it's also a question of, what do you feel like you deserve? I feel like all these people that are against Fight for 15 are in, I won't say cushy jobs because I don't know them, but I feel like that they're in good positions, like maybe a lot of salary positions, maybe they have what can be considered a successful privately owned business these days, whatever that means. I have no idea. I should probably look into it. But the people that are against Fight for 15 are just so separate from the issues. And I'm not going to say that I'm not going to assume that they're all dependent on someone else. I'm not going to assume that they're all being brainwashed by some outer force. Like, they're all teenagers living with their middle class or upper class parents and stuff like that, because that's far from the truth. Like, a lot of them are adults that work just like we do, and yet because they don't experience poverty, they just straight up don't care. And I'm not even going to say it's mostly white men. There are a lot of black, brown, color people that are also against Fight for 15. But when I see a white man doing it, I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up. This little AFAB black person is telling you to shut the fuck up, white man, because you don't know what it's like to be in poverty. And to the white people living in poverty that are against Fight for 15, shame on you. Why the fuck would you not want people to make a living wage when you also live in poverty? What comfortableness are you experiencing by these CEOs making all these millions and billions of dollars and you can't even feed your family? And this whole mindset that the people making minimum wage and the cashiers are all teenagers, that needs to stop, because we've shown time and time again that that's not the case. There are people like me that are female, women, femme, queer in some way, be it gender, sex, or sexual orientation, and people of color that are living in poverty. I know there are plenty of white, male, cis, hetero people that are living in poverty, but how about we just get everyone out of poverty, and then we don't have to worry about that. $15 an hour, we're not taking anything less.